Back week 5 of the NFL season. Last week was a good week for everyone based on everyone's selections last week. Heck, I even had a good week. I even won like $1.50 last week. So I was able to buy some food and buy dinner this week. So let's throw it over to our host, the Philly Godfather.
First off, I want to say thank you to the 3,000 sports bettors who watched the show last week. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed all the winners. And let me introduce my esteemed colleagues here. First off, one of the greatest sports bettors in the world, the guy that taught me everything about this business, the Philly Rooster. Rooster, you ready to fire?
Let's do it, baby.
Next up is Batman at Gotham City Vig. Batman, you ready?
Well, I went to the bank today. I had Seattle Bucks, and they told me that I wasn't allowed to deposit them for my mortgage. So they said I had to bring real money in. So I'm interested to see what Roosters got for me today since they denied my Seattle Bucks.
We got TCK, the college kid on. We got the 8-ball. And we got Dave Mason from Bet Online. So let's get down to business. Let's get to the first game on the screen. We'll do a Thursday night game as usual. We'll go to game 451, 452. The Jets versus Atlanta in London. Early start. I think it's 9:30 a.m. Game opened up 4.5 Atlanta. For some reason, 4. It's down to 3, 2.5 minus 12. Dave, how are they betting this one? Is there any sharp money on either side or on the total?
We got some sharp. Jets plus 3.5 and over 44.5. The line's currently Falcons minus 2.5 with the total at 45. The public's on the Jets as well. 67% of the cash is on New York Jets, and 59% is on the under.
On some of these early London games, I mean, is the handle normal? Is it less? I mean,
no, it's good. It's good. You know, we like those standalone games, especially when they're two crap teams like this. You know, it's like, I mean, if the Jets and Falcons are on at 1:00 in the afternoon, I mean, who the hell's going to bet that? But at 9:30, it's like, all right, sure, some people might still be sleeping on the West Coast and not betting it, but you know, it's definitely going to get more action than it would at 1:00. Would it get more than it would on a prime time? No, absolutely not. But it definitely gets more action on a 1:00. So, and again, like I said, it's good that the kind of lower tier teams always play over there in London because it gauges some interest in those kind of games. When at 1:00, who cares?
Let me go to Rooster. Rooster, I mean, Atlanta's got a worse point differential on the year than the Jets. They're 1-2 against NFC East teams who had, you know, combined the projected Vegas win total set at 7 before the season started. Why is this team laying points against anybody, especially on the road, Rooster?
Yeah, well, it's a neutral field. And the Jets are coming off an emotional win. I don't know. I think now that this game's down to 3, I mean, you got to like the Jets anything over 3, but at 3 or below 3, I'm kind of leaning Atlanta here. I think the tides are going to turn. I don't think this game's going down to 2.5. Right now, it's a no bet for me, but I'm leaning Atlanta.
Let me go to the college kids, Matt, from the college kids. Matt, you got an opinion on the side or total here? That was at 45.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning on the over here, to be honest. We look at Atlanta. I mean, we look at the last game they played against Tennessee, and they actually ended up winning that game. And that was I think Tennessee's ranked 26th in defensive efficiency, if I'm not mistaken. And the only team that they
Talking about the Jets.
No, defensive DVOA. That's
right, but the Jets, Atlanta didn't play Tennessee. So I'm trying to say.
Oh, yeah. I apologize. But yeah, this is the worst defense that the Jets have played so far this year. Atlanta's ranked 29th, I believe, in defensive efficiency. And we also saw Atlanta move the ball throughout the season on Tampa Bay and some other teams. I'm leaning over here. I haven't touched the game. But if I had to choose, I think I'd go with the over, especially if it hits 44.
Batman, is this a game that you might be looking at middle here? I mean, did you take the Jets earlier? You're looking to take Atlanta back 2.5?
You know me all too well. Very simply for me, this is an even match game. Robert Saleh, the coach of the Jets, has been to London. This is his 5th trip. It is a huge deal, in my opinion, to have your teams ready to play over there, to have the time differential understanding We've seen teams go over there and die repeatedly, not play well in the second half, not have enough energy. This is his 5th trip. I read an article today that he had been talking to all of his players, and when they felt best when they left of all the years previously, they said when they left Thursday night, they slept all night on Friday, they slept all night on Saturday, and were ready for early that Sunday game as they felt the best. I think the Jets plus 4.5 at the open is great. If it gets to 2.5, I'll be Atlanta looking for that middle of 3 or 4.
You like the over? I like the over with Matt here. I think they're going to score some points.
Godfather,
I agree.
Godfather, one thing, I know they're doing these games to build interest, especially in England for the NFL. But the NFL is sending the Falcons, the Jets. Next week, the Jacksonville Jaguars are going over there. I'd be shocked if England cuts off our diplomatic allies with them, sending those 3 teams over.
Yeah, but they're all professional teams, and they don't get to watch much football. So
They're not. I don't think they're going to be watching much football over the next 2 weekends either.
It's crazy. A lot of these games have been real competitive over the years. These London games, and they've been fun to watch, and that's all that matters.
It's a reason for guys like us to get up early on Sunday mornings, though.
Yeah, and like Batman said, it's a great opportunity, maybe middle of the game here. But let's move to the next game on the screen, 4:53, 4:54. Miami travels to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay coming off, I guess, an emotional win for Tom Brady. Tough fought battle in the rain. I mean, the game was neck and neck. They were lucky to win the game. You're not going to hit the goalpost at the end, or else they win that game outright on a big dog. Let me go to Dave Mason from Bet Online. Dave, how are they betting this one?
Not a lot of action yet, so take these percentages with a grain of salt. But 60% of the early cash is on the Dolphins, and 53% is on the over. But like I said, not a lot of cash on this one yet.
Any movement on the total at all?
Nothing sharp, no.
Okay. All right, let me go to Rooster first. Rooster, does Tampa Bay come out a little flat after that big win against New England this week? I'd be laying 10 points here at home against a Miami team that ain't bad. How do you feel about this?
Well, I'm with you. I mean, I think it was a very emotional win for Tampa Bay. We've seen that that's definitely a factor. We saw it last week with the Rams. I mean, Tampa Bay at home, though, Brady is comfortable, and he's been through the ups and downs of emotional wins. I still lean Miami here plus the 10. I think it's just too many points for an NFL game. Like you said, the Dolphins aren't bad. Their defense is decent. They shore up in the red zone pretty well. Offense, I'm not crazy about, but I lean Dolphins here plus 10. Definitely not one of my biggest plays of the week, but I do like the Dolphins.
Yeah. April, let me go to you. You got an opinion on the style?
I actually like the over here. I think Tampa Bay, can pretty much score on anybody. The Dolphins secondary has been, iffy this year. Gave up 28 to the Raiders, gave up 35 to the Bills. I think the Bucs should be able to get their points. I also think Miami's going to be passing the ball. You've seen teams this year hesitant to run on that Tampa Bay run defense. So I think, that only helps the over. I think Miami's going to be able to score their points with the hurt Bucs secondary. So I lean over the total on this one.
Yeah, Jimmy the Sheep just chimed in because he's out in Montana or Idaho or North Dakota. I don't even know where he's at. His internet's weak. But he likes Miami here, plus the points. And I do as well. I took some 10.5 on the Dolphins here. I just think that's just way too many points off a tough game for Tampa Bay. College kids, Matt, you got an opinion on this one?
Yeah, I like the over a lot in this game. I agree with 8-Ball. Both of these teams are very pass heavy through the first 4 weeks of the season. One of the 2 teams that are top 10, I believe. And then you combine that with the fact that you have 2 veteran quarterbacks playing, and these teams are 2 of the highest blitz percentages, their defenses. So I think these vet quarterbacks are going to be able to take advantage of the blitz. And Tom, as we all know, he's like one of the best quarterbacks ever against the blitz. So I think some points are going to be scored here. And I also, when you look at the points per game, I mean, Tampa Bay, their defense has not been anything, that has astounded me. I know they're dealing with injuries. Pierre Paul, some others, their secondaries hurt, and that's a big reason why. But we also have on Miami side some quarterbacks hurt. We have Xavier Howard dealing with injuries in practice, and their other starting corner, who's hurt, and I think one of their safeties as well. So I really do like the over here. You can get, I think, 47.5, 48, depending where you shop, especially if this line hits 47. I love the over.
Let's get the next game on the screen. Our Philadelphia Eagles travel to Carolina. Game opened up 4. It's down to 3 minus 05. I think it's 3 flat at Bet Online, Dave. Is there any sharp money on either side of the total here?
Nothing sharp yet. Yeah, but we're sitting at 3 minus 110 and 45. The action's pretty choppy on the spread. 53% of cash is on the birds. 64% is on the over.
Now, let me go to Batman first. Batman, you got an opinion on the starter or total here?
If Christian McCaffrey plays, the Carolina Panthers. It's that simple for me. He is 70, like we talked about last week, and he is slated to play. And at -3 or better, with Carolina's defense, with their pass rush and the pressure that they bring, I think the Carolina -3, if Christian McCaffrey plays, is the right side.
Let me go to Rooster next. Rooster, you got a Carolina team that's 3-1, tied for first place in the division, the second best point differential in the NFC, and they're laying only 3 at home against an Eagles team that's in shambles. They've lost the last 2 games by double digits. They've got holes on their offensive and defensive side, injuries everywhere. Did Vegas just come out with a wrong number here, or are they betting you to take Carolina? You're going to tell me this game on a neutral field is a pick 'em?
Yeah, well, that's what worries me, to be honest with you. I mean, you look at this game, so many ways it looks like Carolina. And I don't care if McCaffrey plays or not, because I don't think he's going to be 100% either way. But that line just scares me. I'm staying away from it. Too many times where you think the NFL is giving you a gift, and they're not giving you a gift. It's actually, an empty box. So if anything here, I like under 45. This game opened 46.5 in a few select spots, but 45 is a good number. 44 is the key number in this neighborhood, but I'm going under 45 here.
Yeah, and all right, the Eagles have looked like crap, right? But I think they only had 10 less total yards against Kansas City, 13 less total yards against the Cowboys, even though some of that was trash yards. But against San Fran, second week of the season, they had 328 total yards against a defense that was still healthy. Now, obviously, after that, San Fran got the injury bug on that, on the defensive side of the ball. But against a pretty good San Francisco defense, they had trouble in the red zone. Now, is Carolina's defense as good as this Carolina team? I mean, look at the teams they've played. They beat the Jets by 5. They were losing 33-14 to the Cowboys last week, headed into the fourth quarter before they put up crash points. To me, it looked like a little bit of a setup game. Let me go to April. April, you got an opinion on this?
Yeah, I actually love the Panthers here. The Eagles' offense doesn't worry me. They have playmakers so they could score, but their defense, it's been awful this year. They've given up 40-plus the last 2 weeks. If you look at the way they're playing, their linebackers are 6 feet off the line of scrimmage, meaning they can't get to the ball carriers. The defensive line's not getting any push. People are just running, straight to their linebackers, down to their secondary, giving up a bunch of rushing yards. I think Carolina's going to rush the ball down their throat here, whether it's Hubbard or Christian McCaffrey. Panthers have a good defense. I think they can play well this game. I just think the Carolina Panthers are just a much better team right now.
You brought up a good point because the Eagles did give up 200 rushing yards to the Chiefs and $160 to the Cowboys. So if they can't stop the run here, they could be in serious trouble. But let's go to the next game on the screen. New Orleans travels to Washington. I think the game opened up 1. I'm seeing some 2.5s out there. I think 2 minus 14 at Bet Online. Dave Mason, how are they betting this one?
Saints, yeah, they're currently -2, minus 114 here. 87% of the early cash is on the Saints. 90% is on the over, which is currently 43.5. Nothing too sharp as of yet.
Let me go to Batman first. Batman, you like a side or a total here?
Last night I was up literally till 3 a.m. studying all this stuff, and I looked at the metrics. I wanted to look at one thing. I wanted to look at the Washington Redskins defense. Why have they metrically performed so bad? You look at this team from last year. They were top 5 in the NFL. They were top 5 in pass DVOA. They were stopping the run and playing well, which led to really good situations for their offense. That hasn't happened this year. There is a thing called regression to the mean, in my opinion. And I honestly, truly believe that Washington Redskins defense and Jack Del Rio is going to show up this week. I think they're going to put pressure on Jameis Winston. I think they're going to get to him because New Orleans' offensive line is hurt. I know that Washington has some injuries across the board. I've seen some of their offensive line and defensive line injuries. I love the Redskins at +2 or greater. I think it's a great bet.
Let me go to Matt from the college kids. Matt, do you agree with Batman?
Yeah, as right now, I really do. I agree with him 100%. I mean, I'm looking at this Washington team. We look at their pressure percentage. They're getting pressure on the quarterback. They're ranked 10th in the NFL. They're just coming up empty-handed. And we look at the fact that New Orleans, their offensive line, like Batman said, has some issues. And Winston's been taking sacks. This New Orleans offensive line hasn't really impressed me this season. To me, they're a little bottom tier so far, first couple of weeks. And I agree, progression. I think we're going to see some progression with this Washington football team, and they've been moving the ball the first couple of weeks as well. So their offense is rolling a little bit. It's their defense that needs to get on track, and I think they do get on track this week.
We got an 8-ball. You got an opinion on the side of the total here?
Not right now. I do lean over in this game, though. I don't really have an opinion on the side here.
Ruth, are you waiting for the screen to hit +3 on this one? Or no?
I don't think it's going to hit +3. I mean, it's sitting pretty much at 2, opened 1.5. This is no bet for me, although I do lean over. 44 is the key number up in this area. Over 43.5, I think, has some value.
All right, let's go to the next game on screen. Tennessee traveling to Jacksonville. You got Urban Meyer getting couch dancing, Dave Mason. You're a professional at them down there in Costa Rica. How are they betting?
All Titans, man. 84% of the early cash is on Tennessee. 60% is on under, which is currently 48.5.
Let me go back to Rooster. After something like that happens to Urban Meyer, he's got to come out and apologize. Does that demoralize the team? Has he lost the locker room? And does Jacksonville just not care anymore? I mean, they can cover the spread, or are they going to get blown out?
Well, let me tell you, when I saw this look-ahead line after all Tennessee's injuries last week, I was ready to unload on Jacksonville. Now, usually I don't put a lot of emphasis onto, off the field behavior, especially by players. But this was so egregious where he didn't fly back with his team. Then he goes and disrespects his wife and his family in such a way that it's pretty hard to surprise me. And I'm telling you, when I saw that video, I was appalled. And I'm like, how are they going to recover from this? It was so crazy to me and I've talked about this before, when I look at NFL coaches, I like an Andy Reid. He's way overweight, totally out of shape, has no time for anything but watching film.
Eating hamburgers.
Here is this, eating cheeseburgers because that's all he has time to eat. And here is this guy out of his own bar getting a lap dance from, by the way, she was super hot. And
you see her name?
I was a little bit jealous. Yeah.
Her first name is Cayman, Cayman. Her last name is Nebraska. I wonder where her parents fornicated for her. I swear to God, her name's Cayman, Nebraska.
I kind of want to meet Cayman, but if I was a famous football coach, I wouldn't be doing that. And I think Tennessee is totally decimated, but I don't think the Jags have any chance of covering this spread or any spread in the near future.
I think Urban Meyer was actually practicing, getting ready for the frat parties next year when he's coaching at USC. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, we put up a prop this week. What's going to happen first? We got a 3-way prop. The Jags win their first game. He gets fired or resigns, or his wife leaves him. So we have that prop up there for your betting pleasure.
Let me go to Batman. The public's going to be all over Tennessee. They're all banged up. I mean, are you on Jacksonville here, or are you with the rest of that?
Well, I'm surprised you didn't, give me credit. I'm the one that shot the video. I can't believe no one has called me. I mean, this is my neck of the woods. I was there. I just want to make one point. Did you see Urban Meyer gyrating in the seat to make it look like no big deal? Did anybody pick the same thing I saw up?
He was air humping there.
That was
Yeah, but you know what? He was doing the box. He had both hands in front. He was kind of like,
I thought Cayman was the new Porsche model. I'm so confused right now. I don't
Cayman, Nebraska.
all right, let's go to the next game.
There is no way I am betting the Jacksonville Jaguars this weekend, period. I'm not touching the game. I know Jacksonville is the right side, if you will. After this mess, I don't see it. I think he's lost the locker room. I think there's money to be, had on the other side. But with all the public, I'm watching.
I don't give a shit.
She has a private Instagram account.
Yeah, she closed her Twitter. I looked for her. Want to do some promotional stuff for her. She'd be perfect for us. Put her right on the homepage.
Dave's always digging.
Yeah, man, of course, dude. You know what I
mean? maybe do promotion if you bet the Jaguars or something.
Yeah.
A Jaguars Ohio State parlay kind of thing.
That's real.
All right, we're losing track here. What we got? Game 461, 462. Detroit travels to Minnesota. You got two Denver teams. You got a large number here. It's up to 10. 10 minus 12 at Bet Online. Total basically paying 49.5 across your screen. Dave Mason, how are they betting this?
Vikings, 73% of the early cash is on the Vikings. Currently, up to -10, -112. Took some sharp action on the Vikings as well. 82% is on the over, currently 49.5.
Rooster, you taking anything here? You like a side or a total?
I mean, this game shot up from 7.5 to 10. I think 10's too many. I'm going to be looking to scoop up some 10.5s if they pop up. Just a value bet. The Lions are absolutely horrible, and I don't think the Vikings are that good. They shouldn't be laying 10 to anybody, even little sisters of the poor. So I'm just going to lay back, small bet, plus 10.5 if I can grab it.
Let me go to 8 ball. 8 ball. You like Minnesota here?
I lean Minnesota at 10. I'll stay off the game. Anything lower than that, I do take Minnesota. Detroit ranks last in yards per pass, opponent's yards per pass this year. And with the Vikings, you have Thielen, you have Jefferson. They're going to run the ball. They're going to hit the play action, burn that secondary. So I think the Vikings are going to score their points. I also like the over here. I think Detroit's a competitive team. They can put up some points on the Vikings here.
Let me go to Matt from the college kid. Matt, you like a side or a total?
Yeah, I like Detroit plus 10. I mean, last week we said Detroit was, one of the best 0-3 teams we've seen, right? Now they're 0-4. They shot themselves in the foot almost every drive against the Bears. They were in red zone scoring position every single time. Shot themselves in the foot. Could have won that game. Could have won against Baltimore. If it wasn't for the weather, they had a shot against Green Bay, and they were within one score with San Fran. This team, they're shooting themselves in the foot. Eventually, you got to start performing a little bit better.
Yeah.
And
I'm with
sorry, my computer froze up. And they got to start performing a little bit better. And 8 Ball said, Detroit and opponent yards per pass attempt has not been great, but neither has Minnesota. They're ranked 28th. They're not far behind. Minnesota, they versed last week Baker Mayfield that's, dealing with a hurt shoulder. They still lost that game 14-7. And this is a division game plus 10. I think it's way too many points.
Yeah, there's a lot. I'll be waiting to take 10.5 with Rooster on this one. Let's go to the next game on the screen. 463, 464. Denver travels to Pittsburgh here. Game's basically a coin flip. I think it's a pick 'em at Bet Online. Betting this one.
Yeah, it's currently pick 'em Steelers -115. The early action's on the Steelers, not getting too much action. 62% of the early cash is on the Steelers. 76% is on the under. Nothing too sharp as of yet.
Let me go to Batman. Batman, you like a side or a total here?
This is the last stand for Ben Roethlisberger in this game. I have not been able to check today to see if the Denver quarterback is playing. My understanding was he was probably not going to play. So if anyone has the information, more than welcome to hear it. But if the backup quarterback is going to play in Denver with this Pittsburgh defense, TJ Watt's going to replay here. Pittsburgh at a pick at home is great value, and I'll take Pittsburgh at a pick all day.
Bruce, you like Pittsburgh or you like the Broncos?
I lean Pittsburgh, but I actually love the over here. I think, in today's NFL, anything under 40 for me is enticing. And I agree with Batman. I think the Steelers defense is going to try and step up here, but I'm going over 39.5 for my left long here.
That's a big wager.
Well, my left long's my weaker long.
Now, Steve, last week I was able to go to get my mortgage paid, but now he's betting his left lung, so I'm not real sure what to do with that. Can somebody tell me what that means?
What do you want these days, Doc? What are you on, 50,000 a loan? What are you on, 100,000?
I gave you a mortgage payment last week, and I know you're, Batman, if I know you, looking at that house, your mortgage is probably like $15,000 a month. So.
Well, wait, before you guys keep going, Sheep chimed in. He loved the Steelers this week. I wish he could get his volume fix on his computer, but he is all over Pittsburgh here. I like Pittsburgh as well. Let me go to April. April, you got a start or a total on this one?
Yeah, if Teddy Bridgewater is out this game, I definitely love Pittsburgh here. They're at home, like Batman said. They have to win this game. It's a must-win for them. They're having some guys return on defense. I definitely think they're the right side of this one.
All right, let's go to the next game on the screen, 465, 466. Surprisingly, Green Bay, -3. I'm looking at some 2.5s in the market in Cincinnati. It just seems kind of cheap to me, Dave. How are they?
Actually, it's 50-50. Cash is 50-50. We have Packers -3. Total of 50.5. Like I said, spread's 50-50, and the total 55% on the other. So no sweat as of yet.
Any sharp money on either side?
Nothing too sharp. Not yet.
Now that the Packers have gone, are you seeing some of the public start to take the futures on them and win the Super Bowl at all or not?
Yeah, they've been ever since Rodgers was coming back. We've been taking Packers money. So yeah. After nothing came in, but ever since, yeah, that we were always taking Packer action.
All right, let's go to the Philly Rooster. Rooster, this line's another game where the line's short. Second for Green Bay money here. You like anyone?
I do, and I'm going to actually let Batman pay his mortgage one more month without going into foreclosure here. Take Cincinnati. Cincinnati is a steal here at home. The Packers are not as good as advertised. Rodgers is playing this game like he's all invested now, running up, high-fiving his receivers. I don't buy it at all. The guy was partially retired. I do not buy the Packers at all this year, and I like Cincinnati a lot. Take Cincinnati plus the 3.
That may be very close to Cincinnati here. You know a lot about
very close is the understatement of the show. Here, you want to So here's the thing for me, all right? I am not a homer at all. I don't like the organization, but here's what I like in this game. Jair Alexander, the main number 1 cornerback, is not going to play in this game. T. Higgins for Green Bay. T. Higgins is going to play. Jesse Bates is going to play. Joe Mixon is still a decision. If they don't have Jair Alexander on Chase in this game, the Cincinnati Bengals are going to light that game up all day long. I bet it +3.5 when it popped. +3 again. I think it's the right side. I agree with Philly Rooster, and left lung involved too. I agree.
8-ball, you like a side or a total here?
I haven't taken anything on the game, but I lean Packers here. Cincinnati, to me, they haven't beaten any real teams. They beat the Steelers. They should have lost to the Vikings week 1. They lost the box score. I think they beat the Jaguars, and they lost to the Bears in Chicago. So I don't think they have any great wins on their record right now. Their O-line still, suspect for me. I think it's going to be a tight game, but I lean Green Bay here.
Yeah, I went over 49. I think they're going to score a ton of points here. I like the over. I didn't bet the side. The side's kind of scary. The right side maybe Cincinnati, but it's Aaron Rodgers. And anything like that, it's just kind of scary. Let's go next game on the screen. 467, 468. New England coming off a huge emotional. I mean, they hit the upright. Or they beat Tom Brady. I mean, now they're almost 9-10 point dogs against Houston, who has no quarterback. I don't even know who's playing. Dave Mason from Bet Online is the public bet in England like time?
Early, there's not a lot of early cash on this one either, but the early cash is on the Texans, 62%. Yeah, 62% at +9. But we're 3 days out. 80 to 90% of cash is yet to come in. So some of these early, percentages are, especially in a game like this where there's just not a lot of early volume yet. So yeah, 62% early cash is on the Texans. 68% is on the over, which is currently 39.5.
Now, Rooster, let me go to you first. Now, I know you like the two dogs in the other games. Tampa Bay's 9-10 against Miami, and Minnesota's laying against Detroit. Do you like the dog here, taking 9 or taking 10 if it gets to that point?
First of all, how in the world can the Patriots be laying 8.5 against anybody on the road? This line makes absolutely no sense to me. I mean, last week they played an emotional Tom Brady, who obviously was not himself. Didn't play well. They still lost the game. But the Patriots, they literally are not a good team. I mean, how are they laying 8.5 on the road? I know it's the Texans, and the Texans are horrible, but I like the dog here.
I'll get a match from the college kids. Do you agree with them, or you like the?
Look, it's a lot of points to lay on the road. I'll tell you that. But it's hard for me to bet this Houston team. I mean, I have no faith in their quarterback situation, and I hate betting on teams with where I have no faith in a quarterback system. So I'm staying off this game. I haven't touched it. It's a pass for me.
Let me go to Batman. Batman, is New England's defense better than Buffalo's? Because Houston couldn't put up a point last week. They got blown out. Do you like the dog here, or you like the pick?
If I had to do it, it would be Houston plus the points. I'm not doing it, but if I had to do it, that's what I would play. I think that those guys on that team in New England gave everything they had for Bill Belichick. I think they gave everything they had. I really believe that. I think that game was for Bill Belichick. The defense played as good as they could play. This is the ultimate letdown spot in the NFL. If I were playing it, it would be Houston +9 if they had a different quarterback.
All right, let's go to the next game on screen. Chicago travels to Vegas. The game opened up, 7.5. Yeah, Bet Online. Dave Mason, is he really sharp money on either side of the total?
No, nothing too sharp yet. 55% of the cash is on the Raiders, and 81% is on the under 44.
Let me go to 8-Ball first because he's real bullish on this Vegas team. I know you bet him to go over their season win total. You think they win again and they cover the spread?
I haven't touched this game yet. I lean under right now. Both defenses have been playing good lately. Chicago held, I think, Detroit to 14 points. The Raiders have been good all year. I'm going to wait and see on this game, but right now I do lean under.
Let me go to Rooster. Rooster, you like a side or a total?
Yeah, I lean Raiders here. I think the Raiders got their loss out of the way last week in kind of an uneventful game. They were never really in it. They had that coming. But the Bears have not been impressive to me at all. Their defense is decent. Offense has been non-existent. I kind of like the Raiders here. I think they're going to cover that.
Batman, you like a side or a total here?
I do. I lean Raiders here because of the pass rush of how much better the Raiders secondary and defensive line has been playing here. I think that you're going to see them come out after that tough game on Monday night and play well. I lean Raiders -5.
All right, let's go backwards a little bit. Let's go to the Thursday night game, Dave, from Mason from Bet Online. Is there any sharp money on either side of the total? I'm seeing 2.5 minus 20. I know the game opened up -1. It's moved slightly in the Rams' favor, the road favor. Are they betting it anyway?
Well, the public's all over the Rams. 74% of the cash is on the Rams. Currently -2.5, -120. Also, the money line is going to be a sweat. We're going to need the Seahawks. 64% of the cash is on the Rams outright. Currently -144. 55% of the cash is on the over. Currently 53.5. Took some sharp money on Rams, right around -1.5.
Let me go to Rooster first. Rooster, did you bet this game?
I did. I bought to the 3 on Seattle. I like Seattle a lot in this spot. I'm still leaning on the fact that I feel like the Rams felt like they won their Super Bowl against Tampa Bay. And we saw it last week. And I think it's going to carry over to this week. And Russell Wilson has an amazing knack of winning, even by himself, on these primetime standalone games. I'm a huge Russell fan. Seattle's at home. That's a tough stadium to play in. I took 3 -25. The line's kind of creeping up towards 3. If I could take 3 flat or 3 -20, I'll add to that. And I have a small bet on Seattle money line as well.
Yeah, it's starting to hit 3 flat. Let me go to Batman. Batman, McVay has owned Pete Carroll. I think he's won 5 of the last 6. Do you agree with Rooster?
I think that scheme in the NFL is everything. I think Sean McVay is a better coach. I think the Seattle secondary is terrible. I think their pass rush is weak. If you give Matt Stafford time, I think he's going to slice you up in this game. I think I took Seattle at the open at -1, and that's what I played.
You mean the Rams at -1?
Sorry, my apologies. The Rams -1 when it opened up. That is correct.
Okay. Let me go to 8 Ball. 8 Ball, do you agree with Batman?
Yeah, I love the Rams here. I mean, Seattle's missing their tight end. They're missing a running back. Their secondary's been, suspect this year. And Matthew Stafford, they've yet to verse him. I think Matthew Stafford's going to tear him up tonight. I think the Rams overall are just a better team. They just played Kyler Murray, so they know what to expect from a running quarterback standpoint. I think they'll be with a great game plan tonight to come out with the victory.
Let me go to Matt from the college kids. Do you agree?
I agree with, some of it. They did just versus Kyler Murray, and they're kind of used to now that running quarterback and feeling it all. But it's going to be tough. I mean, Seattle, Russell Wilson, this guy always finds a way to come back in those second halves. If I were to take the Rams, it'd be first half. But I think if you take +3 on Seattle full game, that's the right side. And maybe if you want to take 2.5 on the Rams, I think you play each side of the fence there.
Well, Wilson's 9-1 on Thursday night. Just a FYI.
9-1. Wow.
Looks like he's going to be 9-2 then.
I agree.
Let's go to the next game on the screen. You got a banged up Baker Mayfield. Cleveland was to play the Chargers in LA. Game opened up, I think, a pick 'em. It's up to 2. I'm seeing 2.5. I'm seeing 1 at Bet Online, juiced at -1/4. The total has been dropping from 50 down to 47. Is there any sharp money on either side, and how's the public betting this one, Dave?
And Sharp's on the under, explains the drop there. As far as percentages, 77% is on the Chargers. Currently 1-point favorites, like you said, juiced at -125, and 57% is on the over, currently 47.5.
Let me go to Batman first. I know you're a big Cleveland Browns fan this year. Do you think they can win this game on the road?
Yeah, a lot's being made of Baker Mayfield's labral tear in his non-thrown shoulder. They're going to try to put pressure on. And I can tell you right now, they're going to get the heaviest dose of that double backfield run game. You're going to see the first half, Cleveland's going to pound them with the run game on the inside and outside of that line. Stefanski is the best run coordinator in the NFL and maybe in NFL history. He's that good. I love Cleveland in this spot. I bought it to 3 -125. I think it's one of the best plays on the board this weekend. Cleveland Browns, platinum.
Rooster, do you agree with?
Okay, my phone line is open. Batman, give me a call. I love the Chargers in this spot. First of all, Baker Mayfield is a fraud. He's banged up. He's got that shoulder injury.
Wow.
The Chargers are the real deal. I love them in this spot. They're at home. Cleveland's traveling. My phone line is open. Give me a call. You can save yourself some juice. And I love the Chargers here. It's my last big play of the card.
Let me just let you guys know. If the Browns win this week, next week, Rooster's going to love Baker Mayfield because a couple of weeks ago he loved Carson Wentz and he wasn't the world.
Hey, it's a week.
Listen,
It's a week.
Andy Reid,
You know that.
Andy Reid, the Rooster, changes his mind like he changes his underwear. Stop it.
Oh my God, Steve's back on.
Came out of nowhere.
His mic's working.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Now, wait a minute. His camera had to go off because he's the only guy in America that one or the other works.
Listen, Rooster, I'm working. I'm out in Billings, Montana. We got a fight this weekend. Bare knuckle fighting. Come on.
Philly Godfather, who do you like in this game?
I like the Browns at +1. I love them at +3. I just think they're going to run the ball down their throat. I think the Browns are the better team at every position on the field. And I love Justin Herbert, but I think I think the Browns win this one. Take the 3 if it gets there.
Hold on a sec. I got to increase my bet now. Hold on.
Yeah.
Listen,
Just
Batman, if
do
you're
me a
making Rooster
favor.
pay your mortgage payments, you got a lot of problems.
I'm still waiting for the money from last year's Super Bowl with Kansas City with Rooster. So I'm not even listening to that. You guys, let's go to the next game on the board. Dave Mason from Bet Online. You got NFC East Division game here. Giants travel to Dallas. Dallas has been playing some really good football. Yet this line is dropping. I'm seeing it 7.05. I see 6.5 in a couple spots. I know you guys still have handed 7.5. How are they betting this one? And is there any trap money on either side of the total?
Sharp is on over 49.5. That's all the way up to 52. Public's on the over as well. 73% of cash is on the over, and 54% is on the Cowboys, currently -7 +110.
Let me go to Matt from the college kids. Matt, division game, getting over a touchdown. You like the Giants here?
I would, but I don't like Danny Jones. Danny Jones, he's really suspect to me with his turnovers sometimes. Dallas, I think the over is a good play, I think, especially if you were able to get it at 51. But the problem is Daniel Jones, they can be in the game until he starts making some mistakes, stupid mistakes, and those turnovers are going to change the whole outcome and the whole flow of the game. And Dallas, once they get those turnovers, they don't stop. That offense is going to keep the gas on the pedal, and they're going to feed Zeke. He's going to start running down their throats. It's tough for me. I stood off the game. I haven't took anything on the game yet.
Brewster, the Giants could have beat Washington. I mean, they beat the Saints. They should have beat Atlanta. This team could be 3-1. They could be 2-2. They're 1-3. They're ahead of the Dallas. You're getting over a touchdown. Are you betting them or not?
I think the line is right. I mean, if this game was in New York, I'd have a different feel. In Dallas, the Giants have to travel far. I'm not touching the side. The total intrigues me now because it opened 49.5. The key number up in this neck of the woods is 51. Now it's up to 52. It went to 52.5, and I immediately saw on the Don Best screen that somebody hit under 52.5 pretty quick. Now it's sitting 52 pretty much everywhere. I kind of like the under here. I'm going to wait because I think square money is going to drive it up a little higher. But under 52.5 or 53 is where I'm going to land on this game.
Steve, you still there?
Yes, I am, sir.
I know you're a big Dallas fan.
It's Dallas Cowboys or nothing for me. I agree with Matty. Jones he's not my guy this week. I like that I have the sixth best defense by the run, the Cowboys. Them getting rid of that linebacker this week I think and Mike McCarthy not knowing about it, it's Jerry Jones sending a statement for the team that, they're top 2 or 3 in the NFC right now. So I'm all the way Dallas -7. I'm in.
April, you agree with that?
I lean the Giants here. I mean, they played competitive football the last 3 weeks. It's a division game. For Daniel Jones, he hasn't been great in his career, but he has played good this year, in my opinion. He has 4 touchdowns, 1 turnover, a 98 quarterback rating. He threw for 400 yards last week against a great New Orleans defense who shut down Aaron Rodgers. I think the Giants find a way to stick around in this game. I'd take the +7.
I agree with you. I like the 7.5. You can get it. I like the Giants here to cover the spread. I don't think they can win the game, but they're definitely going to be in this one. Let's go to the next game on the screen, 475, 476. Bang, the Niners team travels to an Arizona squad that looks unbeatable right now. I know the game opened up short. It's up to 5. I'm seeing some 4.5, 5s in the market. I think it's 5 at Bet Online. Dave Mason, is there any short money on the side of the total here?
Nothing too sharp yet. 60% of the early cash is on the Niners, currently getting 5, and 80% is on the under 49.5.
Rooster, do you believe in the Arizona team? You think they win this game and cover the spread?
I do. I had a big bet on them last weekend, both on the money line and on the spread. I mean, the 49ers are a tough team. Their quarterback situation obviously is precarious right now. But I think this line is kind of traveling to the too high. I'm starting to lean 49ers here. I'm going to see what happens with the line. I haven't made a bet yet. But the depending on what happens with their quarterback situation, but the Cardinals are due for a loss, and probably a disappointing loss. They are not, in my opinion, a 4-0 team. They should be 3-1, but I'm kind of leaning 49ers. But like I said, my last big play, we already passed. I haven't done anything on this yet, but I lean 49ers.
April, I know you're bullish on the 49ers this year. They are a little banged up. You think this is a great spot for them to maybe come out with a victory or at least cover the spread?
Yeah, I love the San Fran here, especially if Trey Lance plays. To me, that's the key. To me, Kyle Shanahan's going to devise a game plan where, you have the quarterback, the read option. And I don't think Arizona's seen that this year. I think that's a perfect way to, get them off guard, get the running game going and score some points, get the offense flowing. Jimmy G's a statue right now. The offense hasn't had much success running the football, but I feel Trey Lance can open that up and cover the spread in this one.
College kids, Matt from the college kids, do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. I think Arizona caught the Rams last week in a bad spot, and I think the same thing's going to happen here with Arizona. I think San Fran's going to catch Arizona in a good spot, and they're going to end up being able to take this one. I actually think +5 is too many points, and I think they have a shot to win outright.
Batman, tough division game. Who do you take?
So, to me, it depends on the injury list for San Francisco at game time. They have no pass secondary defense in San Francisco. And I'm really worried about their cornerback situation in this game. In my opinion, just me personally, I think that Jimmy G has to play. I do not think that Trey Lance, not being able to read defenses on the road in the NFL, big first road start like that, can get the job done. So if Jimmy G plays, I actually like Frisco plus the 5. If Trey Lance plays, I don't like that side at all. I would probably lay off.
All right, let's go to this game on the screen. Buffalo catching 3, 2.5 in Kansas City. I mean, Buffalo looked a much better team. Let me go to Dave Mason first from Bet Online. Is there any sharp money on the side or a total? And how's the public betting?
Some sharp and Bills plus 3.5. The spread actions split 50-50. The money line looks like that's going to be the bigger sweat. 70% of the early cash is on the Bills outright, currently plus 125. 71% is on the over 56.5.
All right, let me go to Rooster first. Rooster, I know you're a big Andy Reid fan. I know you had big hopes for this team at the beginning of the year. They're just not the same exact team. I mean, they've had some injuries. They have their issues on the defensive side of the ball. How does Kansas City win this game to cover the spread? Did we lose Rooster?
Yeah, we lost his
Rooster, I
mic.
think you muted.
No, he's eating pizza.
The Super Bowl hangover is real. If I could take 3 here, I'm going to take it. I'm going to kind of wait. It's sitting at 2.5. Most of my outs, I could take 3 minus some juice. I'm going to take 3 flat here if I can. Chiefs defense is non-existent. I'm liking what I see from the Bills. The hangover is real. I love Andy Reid, but I like the Bills this week.
Chief, Buffalo has the best point differential in the NFL. How did they not win this game?
I like Buffalo straight up, money line, Rooster's Pizza, everything else he got. I love Buffalo. They're a better team.
Yeah, I agree. I took Buffalo plus the points. I took them on the money line. Batman, do you agree?
My biggest bet of the week, Buffalo Bills.
Yeah,
Nobody
baby.
circles the wagons.
8-Ball, you on the same side?
100% Buffalo outright.
I think that's our only consensus this week.
Yeah, there's a lot of opposition on a lot of these games. It's a tough week. I mean, I think it's a tough week. There's some sharp opposition on all these games. I mean, it's all over the place. You just got to really just pick your spots and just get the best moves here, I think, this week and stay a little conservative. Okay, what do we got left? We got Monday night. Colts travel to Baltimore.
Hold on. We're getting a couple guys chiming in wondering what I'm drinking this week.
Football?
I went French this week. This is a French Pinot Noir. Guys can look it up. It's excellent. Clos de la Tour.
Yeah, they sell that at the dollar store.
Baba, you can't afford this, so don't even look it up.
I don't drink.
We got a wine review. We got a coffee review. What else are we missing on this
Gotta
show?
get to the game of the week, Godfather.
Yeah, this is the game of the week. I love this game. Colts travel to Baltimore. Before we go to the guys, Dave Mason from Bet Online. Are they betting yet? I know it's early in the week. But are they starting to fire on the side of the total?
Nothing sharp, but 60% of the cash is on the Colts and the points +7. 81% on the under, currently 46. And this will be a huge teaser game. There's going to be a lot of hookups going into Monday night with that 7-point spread. So we'll be rooting for the Colts. Even if the majority of the cash is on the Colts and the points, we'll likely want them outright.
Rooster, are you going to use Baltimore in your survivor pool? Because they might go down this week, brother.
I don't know. One of the sharpest handicappers I know was talking to him earlier. Now, by the way, he loves the Colts every week. I don't know what it is. He likes the Colts
I do love
again
the
this
Colts.
week. He likes the Colts again this week. I don't know. I kind of like Baltimore here. I like the way they're playing. I have no confidence in the Colts at all. I think they have poor coaching. I've totally given up on Wentz. I lean Baltimore here, but definitely not a big bet, but I definitely lean Baltimore.
G, who's going to win the game? Who's going to cover the spread?
I love the Colts. Listen, Rooster, every quarterback that you go against, you treat them like the redheaded stepsister. Baker Mayfield, fucking Carson Wentz. The only one you're still with is Andy Reid. Colts outright. Colts steal this game. Colts this week is like Arizona last week. So bet them on the money line, and maybe you can get 2 bottles of wine next week.
All right.
Let's go to Batman. Batman, you like the Colts?
I'm going to stay open now because of Baba's advice.
Thank you.
Batman, who you like it?
I like the Colts because of the team speed on defense, sideline to sideline. I think they're going to keep Lamar Jackson in check. I think the safety in this game is going to be a big difference for stopping the deep ball for Lamar. That's the only pass that looks like he can throw. I think that the Colts +7 is the side. I played a little bit of the money line. I also played the first half Colts at +4.
You go, Batman. You go.
Let's go to 8-Ball. 8-Ball, you agree with him?
Yeah, I think he made a good point about the linebackers. You have Darius Leonard. They can go sideline to sideline, contain Lamar. I love the Colts +7 this week.
Matt McConaughey.
I agree. Colts +7. Ravens first week they lost to Las Vegas. Second week I think they should have lost to KC. Third week they should have lost it. It wasn't for a 66-yard field goal, and then they beat up on our hurt Denver team. Colts, in my opinion, have been in every game, screwed it up. I think this time they come out, take the +7, and if you want to get crazy, dabble on the money line.
Yeah, I agree. I like the Colts +7. I want to thank Dave Mason from Bet Online. Dave, let everyone know where you're at, and all the good stuff.
At Dave Mason, BOL. Come check me out, man. And MLB playoffs started too, and we have some of the best MLB dime lines out there. I was having a look around the industry, the competition, and what they're offering, and some of the MLB odds out there are gross. How much they're ripping people off. Make sure you're getting some dime lines for your MLB plays. Screw that 20-cent juice.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So make sure you guys stop at Bet Online for all your sports betting needs. And I know 8-Ball's got some futures on the Brewers and the Astros. 8-Ball, how you feeling about them?
Feeling great. Astros win 6-1 today. I think they win again tomorrow. You have the Brewers playing Atlanta tomorrow. Burns on the mound. I think we're looking good.
Good stuff. Well, I want to thank everyone for listening, everyone for watching.
Real quickly, Godfather. In 30 minutes, I'll be wherever people are watching, listening. I'll be on with Ray Flores, who we broadcasting the fight internationally. The big fight Saturday night in Las Vegas. Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury 3, the big heavyweight title fight. So he'll be giving some insight for any of the people who are interested in maybe putting a couple of hours down the big heavyweight fight on Saturday.
Where can I listen to that?
It's Follow the Action YouTube.
Right here. Beautiful.
Action.
All right. Awesome. I'm on it.
Billy Godfather, do you have a pick on the big fight on Saturday night in Vegas?
What's that?
Billy Godfather, do you have a pick on the fight in Vegas Saturday night?
I think it goes over 7.5 rounds.
Okay.
Dave, how are they betting? Is it a big handle down there at Bet Online?
You know, it not as big as the first two times these guys fought. It'll get bet, but it's not going to. Sadly, the Paul brother fights are going to do more action on it. It'll get good action, but it's not going to get that big time action. Unfortunately, but we're going to need Tyson Fury, which I can live with. So I bet they're betting the dog. They're betting Deontay. So I can live with that.
And listen, I boxed a little bit. I boxed a lot more apples and oranges as a kid than I did in the ring. But anytime a fighter gets dropped, it seems like he keeps getting dropped after that. So, I'm hoping it goes over 7.5 rounds. But, I can't see Wilder winning this fight. Batman, you like anyone here?
Yeah, I like Tyson Fury. I really like the over 7.5. I think he's going to play with him a little bit in this fight. I agree with you 100%. I think those are both great sides. I got a little college game of the week, too. Look for the LSU Tigers to play really well in Lexington after that big win and see if they don't show up this week in Lexington, Kentucky.
Nebraska Cornhuskers. Bet them. Plus them this week. That's it. That wraps up the show. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And we'll see